This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about the introduction of the training, the duration, and what is the takeaway of the training. So how to get a job and what will be the career, and these all things we are discussing yesterday. So today we'll start discussing with what is SAP, what is ERP, and we'll also be discussing about why SAP has come up with S4HANA, why that is so important that you should also learn S4HANA. I was telling you, right, if you're going for SD, that is like with S4HANA. So what is that new happened in S4HANA and why you have to learn that, right? And we'll also be discussing what is landscape, what is client, what is server in SAP. So these things today we'll be touch basing them, right? So first, let me start with what is SAP. So you might have watched this in my previous demos, or you might be knowing some basic details. So who is already working? First few sessions are might be you feel like pretty basic, but because I need to make other comfort, there are people who are from different background. They don't know anything about SAP or computers. So just bear with me for first few sessions so that let us make them comfort and give the hope like they can get into the industry and pretty easily they can make this SAP. Right? So first, anyway, it's like a new experience for everyone. Like even though you're working, you will be learning something new in every session. So to start with, the first is what is SAP? Okay. So SAP is systems, applications, and products in data processing. In data processing. Okay. So SAP is systems, applications, and products in data processing. That is the acronym of SAP. And SAP is a German company founded by 5 IBM employees in 1972. Then later, SAP has been evolved as the best, or like it's the most successful ERP in the market, which is having a very big share in the ERP market. So SAP is a ERP, that is enterprise resource planning. So any organization you take, they will be depending upon some application, right? So ERP, enterprise resource planning, the name itself is telling that throughout the enterprise you have resources. What resources we have in the organizations? 4 M's. The resources are called as 4 M's, that is money, machine, man, and material. So that means like money means FI finance module, HR, that is people, right, man, machinery, production planning and material, MM, right? Like this, like every organization, the core resource is 4 M's. And these 4 M's are pretty much taken care by ERP. Pretty much they are taken care by ERP, right? So to give you more understanding of why you need to get into SAP industry, see what all other ERPs you know, anyone apart from SAP, anyone. Like if you're already working or if you know some other ERPs apart from SAP. There are a couple of ERPs, right? Like we have Oracle, we
Dynamics.
have PeopleSoft, we have MS Dynamics, and we have Salesforce. Like lots of ERPs are there. Like there is BAN, there is JD Edwards, but they have been acquired by either Oracle or SAP. And there are you have Ramco. Ramco is very much used in Middle East and Africa. So Ramco, and there is yeah, there are lots of ERPs actually. There is Pega. There is lots of ERPs. And Microsoft has its own MS Dynamics ERP, but Microsoft works on SAP. Right, Shweta? They have their own ERP.
Yes, Praveen. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So Microsoft has their own ERP called as MS Dynamics, but still they run on SAP.
Yeah, we have a very big team actually is in SAP, like all the modules. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, you might never seen someone coming out of SAP and learning any of these technologies. There are people, but very few I can say. Like you take, see, because if I say Oracle, what comes into your mind? Either Oracle database or Oracle financials, because they are so popular with the Oracle. If I say PeopleSoft, HCM comes into your mind, right? If I say Salesforce CRM comes into your mind, because these modules are like very popular with these particular companies or these ERPs. So if someone come out of SAP and learning some other module, that might be only this. That means CRM is dead in SAP. There is no CRM actually, but now again they are launching a CRM. But Salesforce CRM is very good. HR module before SuccessFactor I'm talking about. Before SuccessFactor in SAP HCM is not that great. So all the customers used to go for PeopleSoft, right? Like that means
Hey Praveen, you got disconnected.
can you guys hear me? Sorry, there was some network issue. I hope you guys can hear me right, and you can also see the screen. Can someone confirm, please?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We can.
Okay. Yeah. Now you can hear me. Yeah. So if someone is coming out of SAP and learning, they might be learning something like these specific modules, but not the complete SAP modules. Because these ERPs are good, but they are very good only at certain area. Even you take Oracle database, that means even SAP used Oracle database earlier, but now SAP has its own database. That means they are good at some part, but you will not be like you will be seeing tons of people coming out of these ERPs and learning SAP, but you will never see much of people who is coming out of SAP and learning these technologies, right? So that itself tells you how stable your career will be in SAP. So I can say only 2 or 3 companies in the world which has a very stable career. The first is Microsoft, and the second is SAP. You'll have a very stable career. That means you don't need to look for another job. You will retire in SAP itself. You enter in SAP and you retire in SAP because you have that many modules in SAP to work. And you might be never seen people coming out of Microsoft and joining some other companies. They don't need to because they have projects for next 50 years. Right? So that stable your career will be when you come to SAP. That means the guys who still have a doubt like what to learn or how to proceed with the career, is a very good choice which you have made coming into the SAP. SAP will be definitely a very good career. But it's not just learning SG and you just stop it there. You have to upgrade yourself. Like any software it is, you have to frequently upgrade. Maybe every 2 years you have to upgrade so that by 10 years, that means every 2 years if you start upgrading, that means by 10 years you will be reaching to the position of a lead or a project manager. It can be anything, right? So that stable career, what SAP can definitely give you. I'll also tell you how you have to upgrade, what modules to choose later. Okay. See, there are different modules to choose. So now, see, anyone, you have to enter into the SAP with a core module. SD, MM, PP, FI, QM, WM, HR, they all are core modules because no business or no industry can run without these departments, right? But a company can run without a CRM. They can manage, right? So that means you should not choose that kind of modules because see that's what happened actually. There was a huge craze in SAP CRM when it was launched. Everyone learned CRM, but later what happened? CRM was dead in SAP, right? So you should not choose some new dimensional module straight away. Now what's happening? you'll see a lot of CRM people coming and again learning SD. So these people, without learning SD, directly jumped into the new dimensional module CRM when the market was good, and when the company, like, there is no competitor, or like Salesforce, which is not that big at that time. Yeah, SAP CRM worked very well. But later, when Salesforce CRM has gained its traction, or there are many other CRMs, free CRMs, CRM was dead, and these people were forced to learn something else again, coming back to the SD. So you should never make a mistake like this, seeing the market, okay, this module is paying a lot. You take RAR, revenue recognition, SAP revenue recognition. Yeah, it pays very well actually, but you don't know how long this module will survive, right? Because that's a new dimensional module. There might be much better tool than this available in the market with half of the price. See, SAP SuccessFactor is a very successful product. Even SuccessFactor is not SAP product. SuccessFactor is a company which SAP has acquired it. So now it is called as SAP SuccessFactor. So in HR module, it's a mind-blowing product. But now people are shifting to Workday. Okay, so they're not going for SuccessFactor; they are going for Workday. So when you choose new dimensional module, this is what the risk you will be having. So don't directly jump into the new dimensional module. So you will always start with some stable platform, that is core module. Then you, like, just every 2 years or every 1.5 years, depending upon your like what appetite you want to go for in the career, just upgrade. One after SD, let's say you can choose GTS, Global Trade Services, never dying, because in world now there is only one product which can handle all the imports, trade, exports. There is only GTS. Only GTS can handle it. There is no other tool available actually. Even though there is a tool, it is not that much as GTS, Global Trade Services. You can also choose transportation management, because, and now today you can see, I hope you might have seen the message, Amazon is hiring 1,000 people to meet its requirement because of this coronavirus, because everyone is ordering online, right? That means day by day, the online and the deliveries, shipments, this is very much increasing, right? See, SAP SD usually do the delivery, shipment, transportation, everything. But we have a limitation here. That is, whatever the delivery and shipment we are doing through SD, it is limited only to the organization. That means until the material is within our compound, within our fence, we can handle it. Any way you can handle it. But once the material, that means the truck, you loaded all your material into the truck and your truck leaves out of the premise. Once it left out of the gate, there is no control. You don't know what's happening that material. Where is the truck, right? So, but now today, you see, you have an option to track your packages, where it is, right? That everything is possible with the transportation management module. SAP Transportation Management will help you to handle your material even out of your plant. If it is within the plant, you can handle with WMSD and these modules. But once the material leave out of the plant, how do you handle? If customer calls you and asks you, like, where is my material? You don't know. But with TM, you can handle everything. So you are seeing this FedEx, you are seeing this deliveries from the Amazon or Alibaba. So throughout the incoming future is completely only online, right? That means you'll be having huge demand for transportation management. We have hybrids, that is, you see Flipkart, you see Amazon, like majority of the portals, right? That online shopping portals are developed using hybrids. Hybrids is SAP's e-commerce platform on which you can develop websites like Amazon or Flipkart or anything. See, the future obviously is e-commerce, right? Already now today itself is e-commerce, and coming in future it will be more actually. So you have to upgrade something like this, which will be having a future demand. It's not just learning something only for 1 or 2 years and that module dies, you don't know where you should land up. So start with some foundation, like very strong, like SD, and then depending upon your area of interest, you are very much interested in online in this particular e-commerce, learn hybrids. If you are interested in this transportation management, you want to get paid well, because trust me, there is no TM consultants in the market. Very few, very few. I'll just tell my case. I've been to Tanzania a couple of weeks back, and whatever they have paid me, 3 times more they have paid for a TM consultant. Okay, for a freelance TM consultant, they have paid 3 times more than what they have paid me. Right? So that's the demand it has. But as I told you, you cannot directly jump into any of the four new dimensional. Start with SD, then jump into any of this module. Plan for the next 3 years or 5 years. See, it should not be a continuous process. And see, one good thing in SD you'll see is you don't need to upgrade. Whatever is there in the SD 20 years back, even today also in the SD module, the same thing is there in 2020. Whatever is there in the 20 years back also, it's the same thing. But you take any other module, you take FI. Whatever there in the 5 years back, you don't see that in FI today. Okay, and FI has lots of branches. So you will be having huge pressure on you, continuous upgrade. By the time you learn something and you get into the industry expects something else. Right? So you don't have that risk in SD. SD is a very cool module. You just learn it. Keep going. It will keep going. It will just roll. That's it. There will not be pressure on you to upgrade from the SD side. But if it is FI or MM or PP, you'll have a pressure on you to upgrade yourself. Right. So that's one thing best coming to the SD. So now let's try to understand. Yeah, as I told you, like ERP, which take care about the industry, any business you see, all the 4 M's will be handled very well. Right. So now let's discuss why SAP has come up with this particular. Why SAP has come up with S4 HANA? Why can't it continue with the same old ERP? And what is HANA database? So we used to have ECC product. Before to ECC, we have R3. R3 is real-time 3-tier architecture. That's the product. Okay, let me take you a little more into the past. See, SAP was founded in 1972, right, by 5 ex-IBMers. It used to be just a consulting company by the time, but later they have come up with their own product called as R2, real-time 2-tier, or it's R2 product, which is on IBM mainframes. It's a standalone product. It's not a client server, it's a standalone IBM mainframes in 1979. This was a benchmarking product at that time from the SAP. Later, in 1993, SAP has come up with another product called as R3. That is real-time 3-tier architecture, which is client-server architecture. You have a server and you have the clients. It's a client-server architecture in 1993. This was a benchmarking and solid footing product for SAP in the industry because there was no ERP which is such sophisticated at that time, even for today also anyway. But what is the difference between this product and this product? That is, you see, from 1979 to 1993, there was no code rewritten, same programs. It was just the same product. But this product was a very fresh. All the programs, code lines, everything is rewritten. It's a new product. Then after SAP has come up with ECC, that is called as Enterprise Central Component. Like there is a lots of versions actually in the ER3, 4.6, 4.6C, 4.7. Like this, there are lots of versions. Then after we have ECC, ECC 4, 5, 6. So today in 2020, whatever the product we are learning, that's called as ECC 6. That is version 6, ECC 6. You know when this product was launched? This product was launched in 2006. Right? That means whatever the product today, 2020, we are learning, the same product which was launched in 2006. But what SAP was doing since then, it has not updated anything in the core, but it was just releasing something called as patches, EHP. We call this as patches. enhancement packages. ECC 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The today available highest package is 8. That means the product what we are learning today is ECC 6, EHP 8, or 7. 7 is the most usual. You see, ECC 6, EHP 7. This is the product what we'll be learning. We don't need 8 actually until unless you are migrating for the S4 HANA, you need 8, but you don't need that. EHP 7 itself is a very stable product, right? So this product, that means ECC 6 was there in the market since 2006. I told you, right? In SAP, it is always ahead of time. We don't need to upgrade immediately. That much functionality is available in SAP. So, like the product ECC 6, whatever SAP has come up with. But what SAP was doing since then? See, there are different modules in SAP. One is core modules. As I told you, core modules is SD, MM, PP, FI, FI. These all are core modules. This comes in the complete the ERP suite. Then next we have new dimensional modules, that is GTS, APO, FSCM, SRM. These all are new dimensional modules. And we also have industry specific modules. You name an industry, SAP has a product for it. Let's say IS oil and gas, retail, IS poultry. Even for poultry, they have a product. IS banking, IS utilities. There are hundreds of IS real estate. You just name an industry, SAP has a product for it. And there are some technical modules for reporting, BI, BO, BODS, like this SAP has come up with. That means, see, SAP modules are classified something like this. There are technical modules, and these all are functional modules. These are functional modules. So whatever we are learning is SD complete functional. You don't need to do any programming here. You are not allowed to do even. You don't get that access for that. So what SAP was doing all this time since 2006 or before 2006 as well is because, see, this ECC product was very much matured, right? And it's not even ready to take a new functionality. It has been beaten down like that. The database is not ready to take any new functionality. So what SAP has done is, if to be any new functionality to be added, they have bring it as a new dimensional module, because the ERP is not ready to take up any new functionality. By this time itself, the system was the customers are complaining, saying that the SAP system is slow, right? So there are many complaints, and the database is not ready to take up this particular additional burden of the functionalities. That's the reason in the ECC, what we used to do is, for reporting, there are physical tables. On top of that, there is something called as index tables. That means, see, while you are doing a transaction, we cannot touch these physical tables for reporting. That means I want to know overall delivery status of orders for last week. Last 1 week, I want to know overall delivery status. I cannot touch this main physical table because it will hamper the system's performance. So what we do is, some data out of this particular table, we pull it, like the status, whichever will be helpful for your reporting. That data, we take it and put it in the index tables. It's nothing, index table is nothing but a duplicate of your main tables. So now if I want to do any reporting, I want to know 1 week delivery status, I'll go to this table and I'll get that. But I'll not touch these main tables. You are not allowed to touch because of the system performance. Right? So these are all issues we have in the ECC, because SAP ERP sits on third-party database. That is, it can be Oracle, it can be Sybase, you take a D2K or you take a MS Access, anything, any database. But SAP does not have its own database, right? So now SAP start realizing why SAP. So customer complaints saying that SAP is slow, or year-ending activities, year-ending financials, or any other activity, like it's taking little time. So now SAP realized that, see, I'll just tell you a simple calculation. You tell me what is slow. Let's say this is system architecture. SAP sits here at the application layer. This is user interface layer, which we see, we give commands, and this is database. So in the database, let's say I have 1 billion records. Out of the 1 billion records, I need only 10 records. So I queried, and the application has sent a query to the database asking for this 10 records out of 1 billion record. Let's say this has taken 2 seconds. This has taken 2 seconds, but searching this 10 records in 1 billion record has taken 1 hour. Once system found the data, it has given to the application layer. So we do calculation and we output it. This has taken 2 seconds and this has taken 2 seconds. So what is the total transaction time here? Anyone? What is the total transaction time? It is 1 hour.
1 hour 6 seconds.
1 hour 8 seconds.
8 seconds, sorry. Yeah.
Right? 1 hour 8 seconds is the total transaction time. Let's assume that I make SAP so fast. What happens? From 2 seconds, it will come down to, let's say, 100%, 1 second. Does it make any difference?
No.
No. But if I bring down this 1 hour to 1 minute, does it make difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Huge, phenomenal difference, right? So that means which is slow, where we have to work either in the application or database. What should be the
Database.
focus? So the focus should be database, not the application. That means there is nothing wrong. It's not like nothing wrong. It is nothing major wrong from the SAP side. SAP was good actually, but the issue is with the database. So that's where SAP started working on its own database. SAP has talked with the prime vendors like Oracle, MS, and these things, but they were not ready to take up SAP's idea. In between, you might be knowing there is a database called as Sybase. Anyone? You heard of Sybase? So SAP has acquired Sybase in 2010. In 2010, SAP has acquired Sybase. Sybase, at that time itself, it has a wonderful database called as Sybase IQ. Sybase IQ, whatever the functionalities we talk today of HANA Database, they are already there in the Sybase IQ. That helped SAP to conceive its own database called as HANA, High Performance Analytical Appliance. So why SAP has come up with its own database? This is the reason. That means the issue is not in the program, issue is in the database. Okay, so what SAP has done? So now it has its own database. Okay, SAP has its own database. Okay, HANA was first launched in 2011. Okay, so SAP has its own database and super fast database. It is 1800 times faster than the previous one. Whatever SAP was there earlier, comparing to that, it is 1800 times fast. So this is database, that's fine. But what is the application? Application is the same old ECC ERP, which is written in 1993 with whatever the resource available at that time. You know, right, in 1993, like what is the internet availability? We don't have smartphones, hardware limitations, software limitations, memory limitations. We used to have very less hard drives, right? So whatever ECC programs were developed, it was on 1993 with very limitation. That means now database is super fast, but the application is not meeting to that expectation. That means now SAP has to work on the ERP, that is its application. So that's where SAP has come up with something first product called as SOH, that is Suite on HANA. That means this is Suite on HANA. That means your ECC, whatever at present is there, that means with the old gen programs and which was developed from 1993, but sitting on HANA database, it was pretty good. It was 100 times faster. But I told you, right? HANA is 1800 times faster. It's not just 100 times. So then SAP has what it made in any industry or any department or anything. Finance is the most important module or area, right? So SAP has tested and tried finance on HANA database. Before HANA in 2011, first BW was tested, and that was a phenomenal result because SAP was very good in transactions. That means ERP. But SAP was not that great in the analytics. All the SAP customers used to use third-party analytics. SAP analytics was not good. Again, there is an issue because of, I just take you through why the issue, why SAP's analyticals was not that great before S/4HANA. The reason is, see, there are two systems. One is OLTP, that is nothing but our ERP system, ECC. And SAP's analytical system is OLAP. This online transaction processing system, this is online analytical processing system. This is your BW system, reporting purpose. And these two are connected through ETLs. You might be knowing ETLs. You know Informatica? Informatica is the one of the topmost ETL tool. ETL means extraction, transformation, and loading. Extraction, transfer, and loading. That means, see, if I want to do analyticals, I need data. So, but where is the data? Data is in the OLTP system. So I need to pull the data and load it into the analytical system. So that here we used to perform analyticals. But I already told you, right? We cannot touch tables at the time of processing because it will hamper the system performance. So what we used to do at the end of the day, the data used to be pulled, loaded. That means a duplication of data. Whatever the data is there, we are again loading it here. And in this process of ETL, there might be some latency lost. Right? There are issues again here. And whatever the report you are getting is already 12 hours old or maybe much older than that. It's just a post-mortem on the report. There is no live report. Let's say your plant threshold, the wastage threshold is 5%. Okay, at any time, when you are doing a production in the plant, the wastage threshold can be up to 5%. If it is going to 9%, if I tell maybe within an hour, okay, production manager can work out on it so that again he can bring down it to lesser. But if I give this report saying that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, yesterday your plant wastage threshold was 9%, what he can do on that? Nothing. Nothing he can do on that. Maybe he can check today. But if I could give this report yesterday itself within a half an hour or 1 hour or real time, you would have corrected it there itself and you don't need to discuss even about that today because it is corrected by the moment itself. Right? That was their issue here because the reports are delayed reports. They are post-mortem reports. But coming to S/4HANA, now everything is on single platform actually. You don't have this many servers, you don't have this many applications. So everything is a single server. That means your OLTP and OLAP is on a single server. The moment you save the data is available here. You don't need ETL tools. ETL tools are again licenses, expensive. You need ETL consultants, right? So the data is available. That means the moment you save a transaction, the same moment you can run a report, right? So that's how the HANA first they tested and tried on BW because as I told you, SAP was very weak in reporting. But later after HANA, it was very good. Now we also have predictive analytics. It's not just telling you what happened, it will also tell you what's going to happen. In the next 6 months, which customer will be defaulted. It will tell you now. So we have analytics. Now we have predictive analytics. System itself will predict and tell you what's going to happen. It's not just what happened, what's going to happen also, right? So yeah. So first SAP tried it on BW HANA. I'm just giving more insight on HANA because this is future. SD anyway we will learn it, right? But I should tell you the significance in the market, what's the importance of S/4HANA. If I just teach you and tell you only SD, I don't need to share this knowledge of S/4HANA to you because you are going for SD training. But it doesn't serve purpose. Even actually for me also it doesn't serve purpose if I don't tell you what's the future, right? So BW, then after SAP has something called Simple Finance in 2013 on HANA Database. I'll tell you one simple example what happened here. Because of this particular 600 GB data was squeezed into 8 GB. That's what HANA Database performance is. 600 GB data was squeezed into 8 GB. That's what happened with the Simple Finance and HANA. Finance was so good, then SAP want to bring everything onto HANA database. So in 2015, they have come up with something called as, everyone talks about simple logistics. Even on my desktop, you see simple logistics, but there is no product ever, or there is no word from SAP coined saying called as simple logistics. There is never a word called as simple logistics. But as we have, yeah, simple finance was there. Simple finance was there. So as we have simple finance, when logistics is also coming onto HANA, people started calling it as simple logistics, but there's never a word coined by SAP called as simple logistics. The product today is available in the market is called as SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management. This product is called as Enterprise Management. Right? So this is what the product, and today version is called as 1909 version. This is the latest version in S4 HANA. This is how SAP has evolved from R2. You can see what is this S4, R2, R3, and S4. It's a versions. We can also call it as a simplification for HANA. There is no specific word what is S4. So we can say it is a fourth generation product next to the third generation, or it is a simplification for HANA, something like this, right? So this is how SAP has evolved, and this is a product today which is available. So yesterday, as I told you, see, even though this is something new, it has been taken from the old ECC itself. That means in SD, I'm talking only about SD. So in SD, 70% still comes from the ECC, and 30% is new in S4 HANA. Only 30%. Okay. That means today, if you want to become an SAP SD or SAP S4 HANA sales consultant, you have to learn both SD and S4 HANA. Probably in coming next 2-3 years, there may not be two trainings like this. There will be only one training called as SAP S4 HANA sales training. Only one training. There will not be two trainings. But as of today, like in S4 HANA, it's limited for only because there are too much consultants who has not even upgraded. In our batch here itself, there are working SD consultant who has not upgraded or learned S4 HANA. So we have restricted this to only working consultant as of now. Maybe after 2 years, 3 years, as we progress, there will not be two trainings like this. It will be only one training S4 HANA, right? So this is how SAP has evolved and why you have to learn SD and S4 HANA. So any questions until now, so that we can move further? Any of these, like, still if you have any question on the career wise or what module to choose, how to choose, anything.
Praveen, I have one question on this HANA. So you explained about this database and then OLTP, OLAP, right? Those both will be on one platform. So what is this? What is like? What's the purpose of, like, having this SAP HANA? It's just big. It's just replacing the database, like, third-party database, and we are having the HANA instead of that.
No. So yeah, even this was a very big misconception in the industry in the earlier years, because people don't understand what is HANA, whether it is a database tool, because we're talking saying that, yeah, reporting was so fast. People don't understand whether HANA is a database or HANA is a reporting tool. Even after first two versions released in the market of S4 HANA, also it's not only people, consultants, trainers, even trainers were not clear what is HANA, whether it's a database or it's a reporting tool, right? See, S4 HANA is not only a database, right? HANA means database. What is database? It's a physical or a tangible or intangible? Anyone? Database, software program. Program is a intangible, right? It's not tangible. But HANA database is both. The acronym of HANA itself, high performance analytical appliance. When I say appliance, what comes into your mind? Kitchen appliance, home appliance. That means it's a hardware. That means if customer is going for HANA database, that means it's not buying HANA license from the SAP. They have to also buy that sophisticated hardware. From 17 vendors, there are 900 plus configurations available in the market, which customer has to choose depending upon their requirement. And the minimum database, the memory, the RAM, for the minimum RAM memory required for HANA database is 128 GB. This is the RAM we need. And you know what is the highest scaled RAM? 12 terabyte. I'm not talking about hard disk. I'm talking about RAM, memory. This memory is available today in the market for HANA. That's the reason HANA is so fast. Right? Okay, so coming to your question, only database has been changed. Nothing has been changed, right? That's what you're saying. No, it's not only database. SAP, what it has done is, okay, I'll show you an image that is more relevant to answer you. See, it's not only a database change. There were lots of junk programs removed, rewritten, or SAP has, see, when every module of SAP is coming and sitting on a single platform, SAP has adjusted it something like that. There is no repetition and duplication. Everything uses only whatever is standard. Like I'll tell you the example of customer master, so that will give you more insight understanding this. But before that, let me show you. Introduction. I was talking about the database selection, right? You can see a 593 GB data has been reduced to 8.4. You see, traditional DB and HANA DB, 84 GB. This all you will learn in HANA training, not in this document. So why new business suite? Like the question you asked, right? There is a document actually for that. Why new business suite? This is how SAP has evolved. ECC, then suite on HANA, simple finance, then enterprise management. So to better answer your question, let me show you some image. It's not only a database change. There was lots of change in the programming also. Yeah, you see this? So in at the time of R2 product, 1979, and yes, you see, there was no code change line until the R3 version in 1992. And from that day till today, ECC, there is no code line change. It was just evolving, that's it. But coming to S4HANA, it's not just only a database, you see, complete new code line, right? Got the point? So there is a change even in the programming also. It's not just only a database. There was change in the programming also, because see, SAP want to accommodate many modules. Okay, I'll just brief this with more of one example, which we will see anyway. So let me just tell you. Yeah, what has been changed really? See, in the ECC, we have customer master. That means creating data about the customer in the SAP system. You know customer master, right? Because you're already an SD consultant. And this is for everyone anyway. I'll just tell you how SAP is trying to accommodate everything into one system so that there is no duplication or there is no redundancy. So we create customer master. This is a SD module and FI module integration in the ECC. Once we create a customer, let's say my company is a very big company. Let's say we are into pharma industry. It's a very big company. We also do exports to 100 countries. Okay, let's say my company do business with 100 countries. You might be knowing there is something called as WTO. You know this? WTO. What is WTO? World Trade Organization, right? the trade throughout the world is governed by WTO rules. WTO, okay, so what we do is in the ECC we create a customer, but I should know, right, whether I'm allowed to do business with this customer or not, because the customer on other side, the name is, let's say, Osama bin Laden. So am I allowed to do business with this customer? I want to know it, right? So WTO has put some people as denied parties, Osama bin Laden, lots of people, and they have also put embargo on some countries, North Korea, Syria, Somalia. They are called as embargoed countries. That means you are not allowed to do business with that countries. That means two things we have to check now, whether I am allowed to do business with this customer or not. Second thing, whether this customer or the country with which I am ready to do business is embargo country or not. This functionality is not there in the ECC system. Okay, this functionality used to do it in the GTS, Global Trade Services areas I was talking, right? So GTS has this functionality. So that is what we do is, whatever the customer we create in the ECC system, we transfer that data to GTS system. And here we call that customer as a BP, business partner. We call it as a business partner. So GTS module has a functionality called as denied sanction party list screening, SPL screening, we call it as. In the SPL, sanction party means you are allowed to do business. Denied party means you are not allowed to do business. So how do we get this data? That data will, there are agencies like FedEx, MK Data. There are agencies which will give you update every month saying that whatever the WTO, because if WTO would be putting restrictions every week, every month, 10 days, right? So that this list of data should be updated. So MK Data, FedEx, these agencies will be giving you the data. So SPL screening, once I perform, then system will check whether I'm allowed to do business with this customer or not. See, Osama, I can also write it like this, right? Is there any change when I spell it between these two? Anyone? O-U. Is there any change when I spell it? Osama, right? And rest everything is same. All these alphabets are same, but only one alphabet has been different. So GTS has a capability even to check at this level also. It can check even at this level also. That means even one character, you take Infosys. Infosys, this is the right Infosys, but I can also write Infosys as Infosys. Is any change when I spell it Infosys? Exactly the same, there is no change, but you see this typo. So GTS has this level of capability where it can screen the customer. Let's assume now I'm allowed to do business with this customer, but which country he belongs to? Do he belong to embargo? So there is again embargo screening. In the embargo system will check whether this customer is allowed to. So then system will pass on the data here and tell that whether you are allowed to do business or not allowed to do business. So now what's happening? In the ERP, we are using this data as a customer master. In the new dimensional module, not only in GTS, in FSCM, in SRM, in many other modules, we call it as BP. That means the same data, customer master, we are sending it to GTS and there we are calling it as BP, same data. Now, when you are coming to S/4HANA on a single platform where everything is on a single database, why again I should create a customer, then again BP? I don't need to transfer anything, right? Because everything available on a single database. So what SAP has done is, see, this BP is used by many modules, FSCM, SRM, and yeah, lots of other modules uses it. So now what SAP has done is, as this BP is used by many modules, first you create BP. It's not the reverse way. First you create a customer and then transfer it. No, first you create BP, then you extend it to customer. Because customer is used by only two modules, SD and FI, but BP is used by more than 10 modules. So it's either, because this way, now you do it this way. First create BP, which is used by more modules, then you create. So got it. So there are lots of changes happened. It's not just what we're talking about, only a database change in S/4HANA. Many things has been changed, right? So this is what the for today introduction. I thought to cover the server also, but because of time, we could not do it. We'll do that in the next session, Monday session. So I hope you got the point, right? What is ERP? What is SAP? Why SAP has come up with S/4HANA? What would be the career prospects? Which module to choose, right? So my guidance would be there throughout the training like this. I can tell you, even tomorrow you get offer letters, 3, 4 offer letters, and you are worried to choose which company to choose. Because see, every company is great. TCS is good, Capgemini is good, Deloitte is good. Then why people are quitting those companies and joining other companies? Why a person from TCS quitting and joining Deloitte? Or why a person quitting Accenture and joining Infosys? So when we don't have a job, we see every company as a great company. But once you get a job and once you enter into that company, you have your own choices. Some people will be having a choice to work with Deloitte, because I'll tell you one scenario. There is one lady, she got almost 7 offers, but she want to work only in Deloitte. The 8th offer is Deloitte. So until she get the offer from Deloitte, she rejected 7 offers. So if you have a choice like that, okay. So if you are like confused to choose which company, there might be a very small company, and you feel that, hey, that's a basic company, why I have to choose? But those companies also give you a very good career opportunities to learn packages. I just show you one sample, uh, like the guy who got multiple offers. The September or November, I hope. Yeah.
Hello, is this over?
Yeah. So can you see the screen? You're able to see the screen, right? So you see, so he got opportunity in Capgemini, NTT, HCL, and this was very recent actually, somewhere in the December 2019, right? So he has also done S/4HANA training with me, and he also cleared the certification with 88%, you can see. And not only I cleared the certification, but also managed to crack interviews for 4 big companies in a row. So he has taken opportunity in Capgemini now. And when he joined the Capgemini, they have put a class. They will hire him. Okay, all the hiring process has been completed, but they have put a class that he has to get certified in HANA. Then only they will further proceed. So he joined the training, and within a week or like 2 weeks, he got certified, and he has taken the opportunity, right? So that's a level, like you'll get 3, 4 offer letters if you're confused, because all are big companies. Which company to choose here? Right? Because see, you might see some companies very big, but they may have very less practice of SAP. You might see some companies very small, but they do only SAP projects. They don't do any other projects. So you need to choose because basing on various these factors. Okay. So I can also guide you later on that part once you got the offers. Right. So this is from my side. So please go ahead. Any questions? Any questions you have regarding career training or anything? Just please. No questions.
No,
You guys can
thank
hear
you
it.
so much for that clarification. The reason why I asked that question is because, it gives us a clear picture on, like, why we need to do the SAP
Yes,
HANA
Hannah.
training
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
You know what I
I hope
mean?
now you understood, right? Yeah, yeah. I hope you got the point. Now you understood it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. I think I'm good.
It's
Yeah.
not only one that particular, but there are lots of changes which happened. Eventually, you'll be learning that in the S/4HANA training. So any other questions, anyone for today? So the
Sir,
next
in
session will be
S4,
on Monday. Yeah, go ahead, please.
hello, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead,
Sir,
go
I
ahead.
mean, in S4 HANA, would we get a practical experience of what is happening in migration as well? I mean, how things are migrated?
See, I already told you right earlier, S4 HANA training is only for working consultants. And you'll be seeing
Okay.
people with an experience of 15 years, 18 years, 20 years, architects. So just imagine when we are dealing with that kind of level of people, whatever we discuss is real time. You will get all the exposure.
Okay.
What's happening in the industry, you will be knowing much more than what's happening in the industry. I can just say one word. After once you've done S4 training with me, even your project manager will not have that much knowledge, but you'll have. Okay, so that's the
Sir,
level of knowledge you
is it
have.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, weekday classes do you have, sir, for S4 HANA?
No, it's only weekend classes. Because as I told you,
Okay,
right, there are lots of people to accommodate from different regions and different experiences. So it's only on weekend.
weekend and it will go for 2 months. How long will
1.5
will the
months,
HANA thing?
6 weekends. It's 12 sessions
Would
you
be
can put it. 12
okay.
sessions. And these are the documents for S4 HANA. Every extensive document like SD. Yeah. Any other question? So we're done with today's session. So next session will be on Monday, and that is the continuation for this batch. So whoever is ready to continue this batch, so you can text me on WhatsApp or you can email me, you can call me, we can discuss further. And once the payment is done, I will be adding you to the batch. And from 23rd, it will be a very closed group, only the guys who enroll for this batch. And the guys who have already enrolled and paid for this batch, on 23rd, you will be receiving the link in the morning, 10 minutes before the session. So 7:15 we start, right? Around 7 to 7:15, you will get the link. Okay. So every day it will be a new link for the session, and every day, 10 minutes before the session, you will be receiving the link. And the guys who has already paid and enrolled for this batch, maybe on Sunday, I'll send you all the, not Sunday, tomorrow I can do it. So I'll send you the documents and these 2 videos tomorrow for you. Right.
Sir, will we
So
get
further,
server
any
access as
questions?
well?
In SD, no server access. But I
And
can give you
HANA?
contact where you can take the server. It will cost you some 1,200 rupees, less than $20. For
And
HANA, I
HANA,
provide
sir?
2 months server access. I provide 2 months server access within the fees.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So hope so no questions. We'll call it a day today. Still, if you have any questions later, you can write an email or you can text me on WhatsApp or you call me so I can clarify your doubts before you enroll. So good day, everyone, and thanks for attending these sessions. If you're interested to continue in this training batch, you can communicate either through mail or through WhatsApp, anything possible. So good day, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.